Good morning all and welcome to our third and last Arctic Cluster Transnational Stakeholder Awareness Raising webinar. Today we have three speakers from Leitrim County Council in Ireland, Solatum Hus&Hem company in Sweden, and Umeå University also in Sweden.
This is Thomas Olofsson and I'm a professor in energy efficiency and buildings in Umeå University in Sweden. And today I will introduce some of the ideas and thoughts and things we will investigate in a project called GRAB, and that is a collective project we are working in. The background for the collaboration and the things we are doing in this project is that we have been studying barrier and opportunities in Sweden and Finland about energy efficiency renovation in residential buildings, and we have done an extensive questionnaire to more than 3,000 single-family houses and owners in these countries, and that was conducted in May to August 2017. And we have a response rate of between 26 and 29% in these countries to understand what are the barriers and opportunities of energy efficiency happening. And what we found was that the situation between the countries Sweden and Finland was very similar, and we also found out that for single family buildings there is a huge interest in reducing the energy costs in buildings, and increasing the property value was the second biggest thing, and these are about 70% of the respondents who raised these in those two countries. Indoor environment was a very important issue, and also reducing maintenance for this. These were the four major motivating factors for doing energy efficiency renovation. And now I can say that the main conclusion from this study was that there is no clear kind of significant relation between reducing the energy cost and the intention to carry out renovation. That is kind of the main important conclusion from this study, that people they express that they think it's very, very important to reduce energy cost and to do this, but the intention to do it is not there. And also other things we also find in the next slide is about implementation of measures to reduce energy, that the installation of energy efficiency applications in the household is the one that people raised most interest for. That's number one. And then also the second one was installing solar photovoltaic and changing windows. These are kind of the measures to reduce energy use that people are focusing in these two countries, is very much related to things that are perhaps seen and visual for everybody, with insulation and other things, heat pumps and so on were secondly. But also the main barrier that the next slide we have is that we have this high initial costs. And that comes to the last slide we have from this survey, and that's about, we could also see that in homes in Sweden and Finland there is a major problem with indoor environmental issues. For example, the major thing is cold surfaces. About around 25% of the respondents in this survey in Finland and Sweden reported cold surfaces as a big problem. Stuffiness was the second biggest one, and then there were unstable fluctuating temperature, draft and so on, but they were smaller. So the idea we have, and the thing we bring further for this study, is that perhaps if now the interest to do energy efficiency renovation is small, then perhaps we can use this relation to need to improve the indoor environmental problems as a driver to make these things happening. And then we come to these thermal comfort issues, which we also study a lot in our group, and that we study thermal comfort as in the traditional theory you study air temperature, humidity, air velocity, radiant temperature, the clothing and metabolic rate of the people. And we have been doing that in schools, for example, and we have done that based on a survey and also based on measurements, and combining these to get an idea about how thermal comfort is. And the proposal and the things we are interested in doing now, and the project is just starting, is that we will investigate in cold climate locations this thermal comfort, both based on surveys, both on measurements, but also in parallel to that do studies for the identification of the technical specification of the buildings, and to correlate these and to see how these are combined, and how they are combined in terms of reported thermal comfort, measured thermal comfort, and technical specification, and how building works, and to use that as a strategy and see the opportunities to use that as a strategy to reduce the energy or improve the sustainability of buildings. You know, these kind of studies of thermal comfort has very much been done in warmer climates, and we see that there are very few studies done in cold climate, in Arctic climate. So therefore we find this necessary and very important. So that was very short what we intend to do. Thank you.
We will move on with our second speaker. That will be Magnus.
My name is Magnus Nordenmark, and I am energy manager for Solatum, Hus&Hem, a property owner owned by the municipality of Sollefteå. You can go on with next slide, please. We are established in 1976. We own 1,200 apartments in dwelling houses, single houses, and elderly people's homes. And we are also managing the public buildings which are owned by the municipality, such as schools, libraries, fire brigade stations, and so on. Now I'm going to talk about the work we have done in the Secure project. This work has been done at the place at the picture, an elderly home in Långsele called Ärebo, with 31 apartments. There are staff 24 hours a day there. A restaurant, it's also an office for the home service around in Långsele. Heated with wood pellets, 350 megawatt hours a year. And there's also an electricity consumption in the building, around 320 megawatt hours a year. In the project, we have established a much closer relation to the staff that work in the building than we usually have. We have, and we still have, recurrent meetings with them and discuss energy issues. We have round tours in the buildings. The pictures here are from the laundry and from the kitchen, but everywhere where it's energy consumption. And those who are working in this building have a lot of impact on the energy consumption, but it's we who owns the property who pay the energy bills.
Den stora ökningen beror ju på att vi har ändrat körningen av motorvärmarna. Och den näst största delen är injusteringen av värmesystemet. Sen är det ju en massa mindre åtgärder som tillsammans gör också att vi kommer nå betydligt längre än det här målet.
Framförallt så har man väl kanske börjat tänka mera på hur man använder energin. Alltså hur man använder el och vatten och sånt. Det är väl det stora hela för min del i alla fall.
Man får ett annat tänk.
Man funderar mera på allting som man använder. Liksom.
Och blir mer vaksam och håller lite mer koll på hur det ser ut i huset. Och oj, där kanske vi måste påpeka någonting.
Jag tycker det är bra. Man behöver en dialog på såna här äldreboende där det är personal och grejer för att få en samlad bild. Liksom. Det hjälper ju oss mycket i vårt arbete.
Dels har det varit väldigt kul för det är lätt att man kommer en bit ifrån själva verksamheten. Men det har varit roligt och det ger ju också väldigt konkreta tips på sådana här mindre åtgärder som man aldrig skulle upptäcka annars. Som till exempel automatiska dörröppnare som gör att dörrar står öppen betydligt längre än nödvändigt. Det skulle vi aldrig hitta åt om inte personalen sa till om det.
It's like warm apartments, and there was a lot of electric heaters around in the building, and electricity is more expensive than wood pellet heat, so we would like to reduce the electric heaters. There is also lighting indoor and outdoor, which can rather easily be converted into LED. It saves electricity, but it also saves a lot of work for the housekeepers for exchanging light bulbs and light pipes. Home service had car heating outlets that was on all the time, due to the fact that it was not that each person has its own car, but the one who parked the car don't know when the car will be used next time. So the easy solution to that problem was to have the outlets on all the time. We also didn't know where the electricity were used. Was it in the kitchen? Was it in the parking to the car heating? Or was it in the laundry or whatever? So we have installed some meters to get a better view of it. So what we have done here in Ärebo, we have installed new car heating outlets, which also take care of the temperature, and the home service are not on all the time any longer. They are closed on weekends and they are closed in the middle of the night. We have adjusted the heating system in order to reduce the differences between the rooms. We have replaced the outdoor lighting with LED. We will replace the indoor lighting as well. And we still have this meeting with the staff. This is the energy statistics for the recent years. And until now we have an 8% total reduction of energy. 8% of energy is 54,000 kilowatt hours a year, 20,000 is pellets and 34,000 is electricity. We have also an improved indoor climate. We have better relation with the staff there, and they are also more committed in saving energy. It is, if we reduce our energy cost, we can put more effort on maintenance of the building, for example, which they like. As I say, we have been working much more with this building than we usually have time to do. And the more you learn about the building, the more you find out you don't know about it. There's still a lot of potential for more energy saving here, together with improved indoor climate. We are, as I said earlier, we will convert indoor lighting to LED. The control system for the heating and the ventilation can be improved and will be improved. We have used a thermal camera in some of the cool apartments, and we found out that the problem is on the roof. The roof is rather recently insulated, but so it wasn't good enough, so we can improve it even more. And we have learned a lot about how to cooperate with an elderly home. And we will continue the work at Ärbo, but we will also use this way of working in the other elderly homes. That was it. Thank you very much.
Our last speaker, that will be Nicola from Leitrim County Council. So Nicola, whenever you're ready.
And thanks everybody for having me here. I suppose really my focus for the presentation is around actions that we've been able to carry out in Leitrim County Council as part of and being a partner in the Secure programme since 2016. So this is just a picture of our partners at the Leitrim meeting. So a key part of Secure for us was looking at the smart energy communities, and in Leitrim, since Secure has started, we have developed a number of community initiatives, I suppose, around the whole smart energy community piece, and four in particular have established within various towns and locations in the county of Leitrim, with more joining or interested to become part of that. I suppose the work that has been done within those communities is primarily to develop energy master plans for their respective areas. So, you know, taking into account businesses, residents living in the area, and getting a sort of an audit or assessment of their energy usage within a particular area, and then putting forward a master plan on how to become more energy efficient and maybe engage with renewables at a community level. And so two of our smarter energy communities are at the stage now where those energy master plans are almost complete. Mohill, I suppose, primarily focusing on energy saving for their master plan and reviewing their usage. They're also actually engaged in a feasibility study around community energy projects. So we would hope to see that developing over time in that area. Our North Leitrim group would be primarily focusing again on renewables and community hydro and solar. So these two groups have sort of led the way in the county, and from that others have joined more recently, towns in Balnamore and Drumshanbo. So as part of our work under the Secure programme, we developed Energy Awareness Day events with these groups in particular, and you know, with the wider, I suppose, community. So over 3 years, 2016, 17 and 18, we posted Energy Awareness Days under the Secure programme in conjunction with the Sustainable Energy Communities and in various locations around the county of Leitrim. And I suppose those events were around bringing together the community, the businesses, local people, inviting them in to speak to various suppliers, maybe around insulation or maybe solar or some way that can improve their home heating and become more efficient and make their homes more comfortable places to live, and for businesses looking about how they might save on energy and so on. So generally those events would have, you know, involved a couple of speakers, I suppose, in the whole area of energy, and then open to the public to meet with various representative suppliers from various organisations that could support. So the next slide then, I suppose, as part of Secure, we, Leitrim County Council, carried out an energy audit of all the council buildings in the county, and from that we identified a number of pilots that we would initially start with and be able to carry out as part of the Secure programme. I suppose we have the Dock Art Centre here in Carrick-on-Shannon, which is a sort of a central creative arts centre in Carrick-on-Shannon, and part of the work done there was to replace LED downlights and replace what was there with LED downlights and install electric air curtains on the entrance doors and as well as low noise destratification fans for the high ceiling in the lobby area. I suppose the picture that you see there shows the before and after. The old lighting is on the left and the new lighting is on the right. You can see the difference there. The next slide then shows more of the lighting in area in the Dock Arts Centre, and also the destratification fan in place on the at the top of the stairs. This is actually the lobby area one, and then there's another at the top of the stairs in the building. The idea with the destratification fans is that they would keep the heat within the building rather than losing it up through the high ceilings and out of the building. The next pilot selected from that initial audit was Manor Hamilton Library, again one of our second largest towns in the county, and it's an open plan library where I suppose there were 39 LED panel lights installed and supply and install of electric door air curtains with remote control infrared heaters replacing the old storage heating system. So you can see there again, the top picture is the before with the lighting, and the lower picture, or the picture underneath, is after the lights were installed. The staff in this library in particular noticed huge difference in terms of the lighting and heating once installed. It made a big difference for them in their day-to-day in terms of comfort around visibility or lighting and heating. And then the next slide just shows a picture of the door curtain there in Manor Hamilton. So Ballinamore Library then, moving on to the next one in area again. There was again, it was an over-door heater that was identified there and as part of Secure installed. Since that, the council have also carried out an exercise in terms of the lighting and replacing the lighting in Ballinamore to LED, and that was recommended as part of an action plan. So in addition to the audit that was initiated on all the buildings, a 5-year action plan came out of the Secure programme for Leitrim County Council in terms of all of their buildings and how energy savings could be made as part of that, and that action plan has been approved by management and will be actioned by the council, has been started already and will continue to be actioned by them once, as even though Secure is finishing now the end of April, they have committed to carrying out those energy saving measures into the years ahead, which is very positive. I suppose savings that have been seen on the next slide in here were that when compared the energy usage in the dock compared to a similar period in 2017 to March, April 2018, it demonstrated a reduction of about 11.5% in terms of kilowatt hours. Manor Hamilton Library was quite significant in that it showed up to 25%. Now, we haven't exact figures on Ballinamore, but it's assumed that, again, those results will show that there are savings there. And I suppose the council have committed and have started to install the smart meters in those 3 pilot locations. So that should give sort of a real-time usage and data that can be used kind of effectively to see what can be done or what needs to be done to improve it further. So other actions achieved then out of or during Secure, I suppose the initial slide showed our partners here in Leitrim. We hosted the partner meeting in the end of 2017 along with a thematic seminar around examining current and future energy policy challenges, which was very well attended and was great for the council here as well. The 5-year energy action plan that I mentioned, 2018 to 2022, developed for Leitrim County Council. So that was out of the original audits, and I suppose the council have committed, management have committed to delivering on those actions. So as part of that, a further 11 buildings with a proposed investment of 120,000, annual estimated savings of 23,500 will happen over the next 4+ years. And then we're also installing a building management system in the council headquarter building, which will be completed by the end of April as part of the Secure programme. And it alone will, in terms of financial savings, will save the council, potentially 3,000 to 4,000 per annum in terms of heating costs, is what they're estimating here. And we're also looking at developing a renewable energy strategy for County Leitrim. Well, it has started, it's been procured, and it's happening at the moment. So it's well underway with a view to having a strong draft of it by the end of April 2019. And so all of these initiatives around energy and so on, we really have been, I suppose, supported in delivering all of them through the Secure programme, and we would hope to continue on that work through our energy action plan, through continuing on with our stakeholder group in terms of quarterly meetings after Secure is finished. So it has brought us a long way over the last 3 years, and we would hope to continue that into the future as a local authority. And I think that's me, anyway. Thank you.
Thank you all for your attention, and if you wish to learn more about the Arctic Cluster project, please don't hesitate to contact us through the project website or social media platforms.